Just look at the state of this. Can you tell we've not been away in the van for a while? Let's go inside and I'll update you on what's been going on, or not been going on. Yeah, it's been a while. So here's a confession. Oh, of course, starting with a Twix and a cup of coffee. So here's a confession. This is the first time in 3 or 4 months that the video camera's been on. We've had a break. It won't seem like it to you because you've had weekly updates, weekly videos. We've been so far behind that we didn't have an enforced break. We just decided to take a break. We've been out and about, not so much in the van. We have been out and about. We've been up to our caravan. We've been on day trips. But we just decided not to take you along and to have a break. Not that we don't love you. Of course we do. We just thought it'd be nice just to have some time where we're not constantly thinking about what we've got to film, what we've got to research. But the time has come to pick the camera up because we're about to start planning. In fact, we've got a month before we go on our next longer trip, another 14-15 day trip. And we've absolutely no idea what we're going to do. Now, I'm not going to do so much research this time because we don't know exactly what we're doing. We know we've got to be in Cumbria, in the Lake District, Keswick especially, for one evening because we're going to the theatre. In fact, bear with me, I've got the theatre tickets here. And it's to see a play called... So long ago since I've seen these tickets. It's a play called Steel, a new play that's set in Workington. So for one night we've got to be in Keswick, but then we don't know. We might end up somewhere before Keswick. We might just head up to Keswick for that weekend, then move on. No idea. We had thought about doing Scottish Borders. We thought about doing Yorkshire Dales. We thought about doing the North Yorks National Park. We'd thought about all sorts. We'd thought about going down south a bit. But now that we've got theatre tickets, it will definitely be Cumbria for a start. Or Cumbria, but maybe something a little bit before that. We really don't know. But over these next few minutes, and this next month, which will be condensed into one video, it's us preparing and getting ready. And sorting things out in the van, sorting things out for us. So come along for this ride, come along for the prep, and then you'll just have to come along for the next few weeks and see where we are and what we get up to. As I say, no real research this time. We're going to do it on the fly. Last trip, the Northumberland trip, I did so much research, and this is nothing against you lot because you lot watch, but I do all that research. I do spend a lot of time doing research, and then we get minimal views and minimal comments. So this time I thought we'll just wing it and see what happens. So we've got some cleaning to do on the van. We've got some little jobs to do on the van. We've got packing the van. Although my locker's still full of clothes because I've got so many clothes that they're just in there for whenever. So that's us for now. Let's see what we need to get done. The van's not in too bad a state, to be honest, inside. Got bits of storage boxes. New toy there for Nab and Bay. That's not been used, it's been hanging there for a while. Hob's a bit filthy. The sink just needs a little bit of levelling up again. Got some new coats, some new winter thick waterproof coats, so we'll be wearing those no doubt at some point in the next few videos as the weather changes, because it's September now. We're heading out in October. guess one of the first things to do is check the stock levels, because I really don't know what's in our food cupboards that we need to check. This is a bit awkward because we have to lift things up. We've got pans everywhere and stuff. Oh, bear with us. Well, that was a bit awkward, but we don't use it very often. So we've still got a few tins. They're an emergency if we're off grid completely and not near any shops and low on food. So we've got a few things in there. Crab meat. I do like a bit of crab meat. Always handy to have the packet rice. These are all still in date, not that it bothers us. Rice pudding. Beef slices. Just emergency stuff. To be honest, we end up rotating that most of the time because, to be honest, we hardly ever use tin stuff. Oh heck, this is going to wind Keith up now. I've swapped boxes and swapped things around a bit. He says every time we go away in the van, I've changed something around. So, thinking about how awkward that box was under there, and we got more tin stuff than we need, so I've swapped. I've put a smaller box of tin stuff in because that's easy enough to. We'll never get through it all, so this stuff can go inside. And then I've swapped a bit of things around. We usually store the kettle in there. That can be stored in there now. We've got the pans in there. They're the things we use less, and this is usually where Nab or Bay lies anyway, so they're usually in the way. So we've got plates and stuff in here rather than in there, and that's a start of sorting things out. You come inside with him in a minute. I'll show you what else I've been doing. What I have been doing over the last few weeks is getting some stuff ready for when we do go away. So made some pea and ham soups and a couple of different curries in there. Sausage casserole. What have we got? So these can all just store in the fridge for a start. A chicken casserole, curry, and ham soup. So they'll keep us going for the first few days, and then we'll start finding the farm shops that we like, and we can start buying fresh meat and vegetables. Always nice to have a few things ready to go. There's also one last one cooking in the slow cooker at the moment. And that's a chicken in white sauce. Once that's cooked and cooled down, that'll go in the freezer as well to take away with us. Where do you think you're going?
To work.
In the van?
In the van.
Why?
Well, we've got a coolant leak, haven't we? So it's booked in to have a thermostat housing and a coolant pipe, which we've had to get off the internet. The coolant pipes isn't made anymore by Renault, so we've got one off the internet. Hopefully it'll fit. And the coolant, the thermostat housing, that wasn't a problem getting. But, yeah, we've got quite a bit of a leak. We have to keep topping it up, don't we? So yeah. Hopefully get it sorted today.
Yeah. What time will you be home? I'll have your dinner on the table.
I don't know.
See you later.
Yeah. Watch yourself.
So that'll be another of the jobs ticked off. 1 week to go. Next Friday we go away. We have got a bit more of a plan, but we'll tell you about that in a little while. So, the great charge up begins. Look at all this lot. Isn't it amazing just how much stuff we rely on and how much stuff needs to be charged these days? Yes, we could charge it as we go along, as we need to, but it's always nice to leave with everything fully charged. So we've got a spare camera. just in case this one that you're watching on breaks for any reason. We've got the microphones and receiver to charge, camera batteries of different kinds, plus camera batteries for this, controller for the drone batteries, the lights we use. Rather than using internal lights, we find these a lot easier to just hang anywhere because they're magnetic. We always have 4 torches with us. Different cameras. We don't use any of those for video, they're just still cameras. That's not the only lens we'll be taking other lenses for that camera as well. Got the gimbal to charge, and this is the old knackered camera that we used to use as our main camera that fell off the van one day and got smashed, but it still works for filming, so we use that on the gimbal when we're hanging outside the van and driving along, because that way it doesn't matter if it falls again and breaks. And then we've got the outing coffee, Nespresso coffee machines that also need charging. And we always like to have a bit of music in the van when we're sat at night, or not always, but sometimes. So we've got the speaker to charge as well. This is a couple of days worth of charging, isn't it? If you're a van owner, how much stuff do you charge before you go away? And how much stuff do you actually need to charge? It's ridiculous how it mounts up, isn't it? She's having a treat, isn't she?
She is. We're being very lazy.
This has never happened before.
Well, it has once when it was full of salt water.
Yeah, but we did it then.
No,
we didn't take it.
No.
We didn't have men that did.
No. We have men that do.
Found a new car wash just up the road from us is open, so we thought we'd give them an opportunity because she's so filthy, because she doesn't get a wash very often, to be honest. So another part of the preparations for going away. I can't wait to see the outside verdict.
Very good. They've done a good job, and they spent a bit of time just wiping it down, didn't they?
They did, and he even got on steps and went up so he could do the bulkhead bit.
Yeah.
What you call it, the front bit.
Yeah, she looks alright.
How much?
20 quid.
That's not bad.
Really? So not for a big vehicle
not
like
for a
this.
big vehicle, no. Brilliant. You did say she's taking a bit of the black paint off that we added, but that was only
painted over the skirt.
That was only on top anyway, wasn't it? Soon sorted. Well, she does look better.
She does. It shows up the rust spots though.
It does. Few winter jobs, aren't they?
Yeah.
She's never had a treat like that before. Another job ticked off the list. Well, Amble's had her wash and brush up, so I reckon I better start looking a bit better for you lot out there for our trip away. So it's time to go and get this mop cut. What shall I have today? So much hair to play with these days. So I'm here. This is our regular barber.
Oh yeah.
Always come here. Back home and I've been shorn. Not much to do these days. Long gone are the days of perms or having my hair streaked. And my mum always used to say, you'll regret it. You'll have no hair left when you're older. She wasn't far wrong, was she? Anyway, got some jobs to carry on doing. We've got 3 days left before we go, so it's time to start thinking about packing the van with bits and pieces. Coffee first, though. And in the middle of all this, we've just had the renewal notice for the insurance on the van. £390 for the year. So just doing that as well before we go away. A little earlier in this video I said we didn't know where we were going, we were doing no research. Well, that changed. We do know where we're going now. That was filmed a few days ago. So we know where we're going, and I can't help myself, I've done some research. So now that's all printed out and I'm just laminating the sheets because the weather forecast is for rain, lots of rain. So I thought it best not to take the Campervan Tales book and to laminate everything instead. Not telling you where we're going just yet though, you'll have to wait and see. Milk's been delivered. We've had our milk delivered in glass bottles for a couple of years now. So we'll be taking that with us, but not in glass bottles. We'll show you what we do with that later. Well, that's the fridge loaded. Today's the day we go, or this evening's the evening we go. Setting off about 6:30 p.m. tonight, and then we'll get to where we're going probably about 11 o'clock. The milk. So yes, you saw we get our milk delivered in glass bottles, but what we do when we're going away, we decant it into these aluminium water bottles. That way we're not carrying plastic, and these keep the milk really fresh and cold. So we've got full fat milk in the blue, and we've got a skimmed, because I like skimmed in tea, in the red. Plenty of food to keep us going. Some of that frozen food that I showed you that was in our freezer before. We've got 3 tubs in there of different things to keep us going for the first few days until we start finding the farm shops and the local butchers and everything. So I don't think we're going to starve. So that's it. Packed and ready to go. 2 very excited dogs in the house. They always get overexcited on the day that we're going. They know something's happening. Anyway, if you made it this far into the video, thank you very much for watching and for sticking right the way through it to see what we do to prepare for a trip away. If you're a regular subscriber and you usually comment, thank you very much. It means a heck of a lot, and as you know, we'll always reply even if it takes us a couple of days. If you're a regular viewer and you don't comment, please do think about doing so, because that helps with the algorithm and it helps YouTube to push the channel. And we are struggling with numbers at the moment. Not subscribers, but with views. We're lucky if we're getting 150 views per video. And it'd be nice just to get a few more. And with people commenting, that does help to boost things. And if you're new here, thank you for watching. And hope you'll stick with us to see where we get to. So keep watching. We're going on a 16-day trip where you'll have to watch to find out. The next time you see a video will be next week when we open the door and show you where we are. For now, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.